I am back. Peace, Queens. Welcome back to my channel. This is your sis, Kathy Muhammad, here to go over episode 6 of season 13 of Married at First Sight. Listen, interesting chain of events. So let's just get right into it. Yes, I'm solo tonight. I'm sorry, I'm solo, but hope you still have an amazing time. Kiki should be back next week. Now, we're gonna hop right in here. I'm going to talk about the couple who wasn't here to, didn't get too much airtime because poor brother's sick, and that's Zach and Michaela. Michaela's back in Houston, guys. Yes, she didn't stay by hubby's side. Unfortunately, I have mixed feelings on that. Now, I understand it's serious out here with COVID. Everybody's body is different. I guess she felt that she was useless not being there by his side because he, of course, was looking out for his wife, didn't want her infected. Of course, she's like, well, it's me. I can't be there for my husband, so why stick around? I personally think she could have been in another hotel room. I don't know what the producer said because she was at one point, what's the word? Was around him, exposed to him. They even already consummated their marriage. So to be around the others, even though she came up negative, I can understand that may not be a good thing because nobody else should be exposed to you. Go home, because who knows, you may have a positive test a week from now. Who's to say with this virus? So definitely that may be been the best choice. So she's gone. Zach was able to conversate via phone to the rest of the couples. He was also able to come out on his balcony and talk to them as well, and they were there to give him that love and support and saying, bruh, if you need anything, we're here for you. Sad, but hopefully they'll make it out when he gets back to Houston. We see how crazy it gets in the coming weeks, so we will see how that works out when he gets back home. It may not be so great, so stay tuned. I'm excited. I cannot wait to find out what sent Hurricane Kayla off. Okay. Excuse me. A little tickle. That's it. It's just a little dry tickle. Can't even cough today these days because people just think something else. No Rona here. Thank God. Okay. Now, next I want to get into Rachel and Brett. Still getting to know them. Brett, she's still trying to make it through. Really seem to be vibing with Ryan. They're out there pedaling in their little boats, rowing away, and they happen to see a manatee, I think it's called, large, huge, I guess, water mammal in the sea. I really don't blame Brett because I would have kind of been freaking out too. It was kind of big, bouncing on my boat. No, thank you. Might flip it out. Sister can't swim like that, so yeah, I would have been nervous. Ryan, on the other hand, is like shaking his head. I know he's frustrated. He's rolling his eyes, shaking his head. I don't think he's that crazy about her complaining. He's the adventure type, and he sees already from what he experienced from the plane up until now, his wife is nothing for, I guess, heights, closing spaces, out in the ocean, maybe even spiders, bugs, none of that. So she's no adventure person like Ryan. I guess he's gonna try to get her out of that. We shall see. I still not feeling a whole lot from Ryan. Work with me here, man. Work with me. I'm not getting a whole lot of warm vibe. I'm not getting a lot of, it's great getting to know you. I don't see a whole lot of opening up. I still see that surface thing going on. He doesn't expound a whole lot. Fast forward to the couples. They're on the boat. However, that's funny. He did, no shock to me, said who has had a one-night stand, he chugged on up. This is Mr. Serial Dater all of Houston probably, there's single women out there in Houston probably done been out with Ryan. So of course he chucked it back. I'm like, yeah, okay, you had your one night stand, probably had multiple, we'll never know how many, but that was no shocker there. He didn't have much to say. Fast forward again at the dinner table when they were all on the beach conversating about their political affiliations. Now this is where it got a little uncomfortable. I really agree when Mira mentioned it. Political views, especially on issues, is really important. You cannot ignore that. I don't know why the experts tend to cause this different conflict. Matching up people with different, political affiliations may have opposites. I don't know if they want to do that to stir up drama, see if opposites attract. I don't know. But that's very important. And I think your views on issues can really cause a lot of arguments in a household. Most, I think, that are married have the same political affiliation. Those who involved in politics like that. To be an extremist on one side, you cannot tell me that Ryan isn't a Republican. I can tell from his views where he's located, the things he likes to do. He was real hush-hush on it. But being with from the conversation of what Brett said, things that she's passionate about, her not liking guns and that whole, just that type of thing. She said from knowing, she knows Ryan's background, how does she put it, based on conversations on his beliefs, so she knows what it's about. And I really see that. And I'm getting, seriously, Eric and Virginia vibes. You see what happened to them. All this in the camera, acting like it's cool and everything's all right. And then when the camera's off and we find out later and the show's over, we know the real deal. Don't lie. Be real with it. Don't act like everything's cool when it's not, because we're eventually going to find out. So, yeah, I can see the difference in beliefs there. And we're going to continue in the future. I'm sure that's going to pop up and rear its ugly head. And we will see just how much of an issue it is. Now, that's basically all I have to say to them. Type in the comments if you see anything substantial going on or in the future, or if you think that Brett and Ryan are going to make it. I think they are really trying to force feelings, conversations, the issues with feelings and sex. I think it's going to be an issue. How soon they want to do it is going to be on two opposite sides of the spectrum, along with their political views. So we will see how this goes. I'm not still getting a whole lot of substance out of these two. They trying. I don't see it. Now, Mirla and Gil. Now there's a part of me, and I know this is all over a lot of content creators, that are also speaking on this issue, not that crazy about Mirla. I know, friends of mine who like whatever with her, they pretty fed up because, seeing that she's just materialistic. I see how I could kind of vibe with Mirla. I try to look for the good in people, try to see the reason why they are the way they are. When Mirla spoke on her background, when she spoke on where she's from, what she's experienced, the house with the tin roof for her and her siblings, it was rough. It was rough. And you have to understand, when you have a certain upbringing and an experience that traumatized you, left you from fear on maybe when your next meal is going to be, went through harsh living, you will work like hell to not experience that. And of course, you don't want your children to go through that as well. Not saying we're not going to go through any struggles, because Mirla has a huge heart. We saw from her views, she had a stance like, if you didn't believe like I believed, she turned her back on old boy. Like, no, that's a deal breaker. It will be over for us, because especially when she's very vocal on how she feels on things, when she takes a stance, she takes a stance. They could not be on the opposite sides of their beliefs in that household. It's not happening. So old girl was like, no way. But I see the heart, the work that she does for those less fortunate. lets me know she wants to help others who was in that same situation as her. So that level of fear will make you, it will freeze you not to budge and compromise too much, because somebody is trying to pull me back into that space. So for those who are hard on Mirla, try to understand that. Not saying she's really, and I can see herself opening up and being loving. The cookie thing, I think, was a cute gesture. She really thought about her husband and his love for cookies. If she doesn't love dogs, if she doesn't love heights or whatever, that's a part of getting to know someone. Stop making your spouse do things that they just totally do not like, or may get traumatized over it, and it's going to cause more division between the two of you. That's like last season with Brianna and Vincent. When she went horseback riding, he does not like getting on large animals like horses. That's not his thing. Sometimes you want to break people out of their comfort zone, but there's a way to do it. Don't make plans for someone to do things, especially when you just meeting them, just getting married with, like something like Married at First Sight, and expect them to be all gung-ho. No, if I don't like something, I don't like it. Don't force it on me. She doesn't like dogs. He feels if I'm bringing my dog into the family, this is my baby since 6 weeks, you need to be able to do this. Well, maybe I have a fear of dogs. Whatever it is, it's not going to change overnight. Let me warm up to the dog. I don't have a dog or cat or whatever animal that may be for a reason. So if I don't have that animal, please don't think just because I'm married to you, I'm all of a sudden not fall in love with your dog. That's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. So please don't judge me on that because I don't want to walk the dog. And that might be no cute little foo-foo dog either. It might be some old big Rottweiler type dog, pit bull. No. If I can afford a dog walker, please don't say our marriage is over or you don't want to get to know me any further because I don't want to walk your dog. I remember when I was like 19, went to North Shore Animal League in Long Island and adopted a pet. It was a beautiful collie named Princess. I loved Princess. She was beautiful. But I'm 19. The dog was beautiful. I went with my friend who also wanted to get a dog. So I followed her and I fell in love with this dog. Knowing good and doggone well, after a while I realized I don't like walking this dog early in the morning. I'm trying to get my beauty rest before I go to work. I do not want to, I don't have time late at night because I'm out with my friends. So I realized my mother was like, you're not going to take care of this dog like, you need to. Princess is still young. Everyone's working. No one's here. When she's not home, she got stuff all over the place when we get home. It was a lot of work. And I'm like, no, dogs are not for me. That's why I love cats. I have Pito. I love cats. They're very independent. They do their thing. I don't have to walk them or none of that. So to get with someone who has a big dog and I'm supposed to be spending, mornings and nights while you at work walking your dog, I may not be all with that. So I get that, Mila. I get it. I'm not going to beat you up for that. I just want you to know that sometimes when you may have to compromise, maybe try, let me see, walk it once. In the future, give me my time to do that. And in my own way and pace, warm up to your dog. Don't force it on me instantly because you think that's a waste of money. Something that you may feel is a waste of money may be very beneficial for me. Okay? So, but I thought that was nice. I also saw a warm side to Mirla at the table during conversations. Now, side note, Johnny, I don't think it's any of your business who consummated their marriage. I think that's between the two. And you don't have to be divvying up that information. But everyone wanted to divulge and give their, input on that. Hey, that's on them. I wouldn't have been saying nothing because it's none of your business. But I saw also the tenderness of small things that I noticed. Like Gil's arm in her lap and she's holding it and stroking him and leaning in towards him. That's very endearing. Little moments like that. So I see how she's easing, warming up to him, that level of comfort. There's certain little things, little nuances that I look at. So I think that was really nice between them two. Very endearing. Even though he may not have seen it as something, I felt that little feel of security, holding his arm, and just rubbing it, him having his hand on her lap or her knee, wherever it placed. But I saw how his arm was across from her, and how she was embracing that, and then the body language of leaning into him. So those affectionate moments let me know that Mila is not totally cold. I don't know what her past relationships were that didn't make it work out. We've all been through things. I think it's just going to take some time and understanding, like any relationship with people that have known each other for a while. But this is right away. So I cut slack on that. And as far as being intimate and having sex with someone right away, I don't, even though we're married, I can understand that too. I have to warm up to you. It's not the fact that you just look good. You may have a physical chemistry. That may be all well and good. Look at Jose and Rachel, so that may be great with them. Everyone thinks that, they're going to be the first one to do it just because you see all that public displays of affection. But that PDA a lot of times is just outward appearance. That behind closed doors, that might be a no-no, and Rachel mentioned that. So that's how Mila feels when it comes to crossing that line. I need a level of trust. I need a level of trust that really makes me feel that I want to go to that next step with you. You cannot just rush in there because we're on this show. This is legit. We made these vows, but you're still, at the end of the day, I haven't known you a week yet. Some can jump out there and do that, but others can't. So that just gonna have to take time. As far as a kiss, that could have happened sooner. I would have gave him a kiss when I gave him the cookies. Maybe if he blew a kiss from her across the table, maybe that would have been cute and made her maybe I give him a real kiss. But hopefully that'll come. That I would have done by now. I'm just saying, he's some kind of fine, but her, she needs more time. So we will see more into that. But really huge when it comes to religious affiliation, when it comes to animals, when you're going to be intimate with someone. These things really matter. But she's open to talk, and she listens, and she's becoming more comfortable with him. I think the same with her. The whole issue when they had the conversation before with all the children, that's crazy. Let me tell you something, Gil, ain't nobody having no 7, 8 children. You want a whole football squad for real, and the cheerleaders. But let me tell you something, that's not happening. Number one, Miller probably ain't a spring chicken. We not meeting each other at 19, 20, 21 years old to start, really young, having this huge family, and then adopting as well. Everybody won't adopt, can't adopt, has no interest in adopting, even though there's so many children that need it. That adoption is not for everyone. So, a lot of times people, that's on their last resort when they can't have children of their own. So to do a combination of both can be a bit much. She wants to continue to maintain her lifestyle, and she wants her children to have nice things as well. And with that, you can't, that's why, do you have a trust fund to give all of these children a better life than you, have the finer things in life, or build that family where you're comfortable? Take your time, bro. Slow your roll. Let Miss Princess, the queen of the castle, get over that hump to get comfortable with you, to give that kiss, and do the do, and hopefully in the future, a year or two, you get one. And then you can take it from there. Baby steps, bro. You ain't even been kissed yet, and you already want her to pop out 7 or 8 babies. See, you men kill me with all of these babies. You're not the one physically going through this, with the changes your body go through from having a child. So that is something you need to reconsider and chop that down a little bit, bro. Baby steps. Baby steps. So that was Mila and Gil, and we're gonna see how this transpires, but I can really see, that's my opinion on how those things went with them. So Now we have Bo and Johnny. Bo and Johnny.
Did I hear
Somebody
Johnny?
I thought was gonna leave me alone
Johnny?
today, but somebody wanna pop in here because she hear about her baby.
Johnny.
Oh God! Here she go. I thought she was gonna wait till next week, but she's here.
I'll just take the floor.
She just had to make her little star appearance. Anyway, Bo and Johnny. Number one, what I can appreciate about them is the conversation, the openness that he immediately tells her how he feels about something, and when he's going back to his old ways of cutting something off and swiping left again and right or whatever. Evidently he's the swipe king, but he's expressing himself, and she carefully listens and cautiously listens and tried to gain understanding. And I can see how she both carefully digests what Johnny says to her, and she carefully executes her words. I think because Bo has liked this man for probably over 10 years, and it's like a dream come true, and crushing for someone so long, and now you actually have this person in your life. You really want to consider everything to keep that marriage good, that relationship, constantly evolving. But one thing you do not do right away, and I don't know what's up with you guys, and I digress. I'm going to leave that for the end with them too. I'm going to leave it for the end because we're going to get into right now. I'm going to talk about the good part. The skydiving, not the skydiving, but parasailing. They had an amazing time. They had a lot of fun. I love that energy. She's open to do adventurous things with him. So they are going to be a fun-loving couple when it comes to activities, and she's willing to share things with him. What was really great for me also was Johnny sharing the moment that he called his dad. His dad said, "Okay, did you get married?" "Yeah, Dad, I did." He did, sir. He actually did that. But then he wanted to know, was she Asian? Well, that's very important in the culture to have someone of your same race or persuasion. I understand that. That's really important. Listen, families are like that. Some don't care. I don't think you're a bad person if you want someone to be of that same faith or religion or race and ethnicity. That's your preference. Especially those old school with a lot of cultures, they really want that culture to stay the same. Makes a lot when it comes to enriching the family, building the family. I get it. He said yes. Dad was like, phew, okay. we all right with that. You didn't get a little too crazy. But so he was really happy and relieved, and she held, Bo was there to hold his hand. She got the chill bumps. They both got the chills. I even got a little chill because I saw how happy that made Johnny, and I was happy that he got that, relief from his dad, and his dad just wants him to be happy. So that's good. It looks like that steps in the right direction. Now the point is to get them to meet. So hopefully that will happen soon. Now, the table discussion. Now, Johnny, you all in everybody's business, but then when it's time to get into your stuff, you want to sit up there and say, I'm going to leave that to Bo, asking everybody, did they consummate the marriage? Johnny, mind your business. I think that was a little personal, but everybody divulged, and he said no, that's something they didn't get into. And most of the people I think was saying, if it wasn't, I think Mirla who said, I think it's gonna be Bo and Johnny, and they was like, why you think us? And she was like, I just feel that from you two. She was like, well, what she say? I hope that I win that bet or something like that. I was like, now see them sweet little innocent ones that you think are she's so, you know, particular, and so, you know, everything has to be perfectly aligned. Listen, when it comes to that area of her life, Bao is a little open book. When they were on that boat and she took that swig on one night stand, she was like, oh, I was young. You know, it happened, blah blah blah. Like, you ain't that old either, Bao. But anyway, yeah, when you were young, I don't know how much younger, but yeah, that was some kind of funny. I don't even think Johnny took that drink on no one night stand, but Bo did. I was like, okay, Bo, you a little wild something. And she said she wish you win that bet. So she's saying, I think she mentioned physical intimacy is something she would do quicker than the emotional part. I'm opposite. So I'm opposite. We need that emotional connection and build that level of trust before we go there. She thinks almost like a man. You can jump and bam and do that, and emotional stuff can, like, whatever, go down the line. I guess she feels that takes a while to build up, which a lot of times it does. Physical can be mindless pleasure. That's true. It can be. It's an act that, you know, some can do and not have emotional attachment. For many, especially with women, normally once we get there, then the emotional attachment will happen. So maybe she does that to grow that emotional attachment, but that's not something you gotta rush and do right away. I still think you need to get to know a person for a while, even though you're married. And yes, that's true. Get to really learn a person before you give yourself physically. Because let me tell you something, ladies, especially if the younger ones are out there listening. Once you be intimate with someone, that starts to change sometimes your view. You start thinking more with your heart and emotions and not so much with your head. Wrong head. Don't do it when you're not really ready. Everyone is not gonna wait till marriage. I get that. That's a reality of it. But make sure that you definitely are grounded with the key questions and investigation and the important things you need to know about people. Like that good old-fashioned courtship that our grandparents did. Maybe some of our parents did. Some of us are doing. Take your time and go through family, what you want for the future, finances. Yes, sex. You know, are you someone that needs it 2-3 times a day? Are you an actual, you know, what they call it? Oh God, what's the word? It took my tongue. I know it. Nymphomaniac. You know, are you someone one time a month is good enough for you? That can make a difference in two different sexual parts of the spectrum. So there's so many different levels that you need to know about a person, because once you cross that line, a lot of times we don't get to ask those questions no more. And so many things come up and problems, and you say, oh my God, I gave myself to him. I didn't know that about you. Oh, I didn't know the X, Y, and Z. Why didn't you tell me? Did you ask the question? Or you just wanted to jump in bed and think that sex was going to change something? So no, many of us have been there. And once we do that, we start getting to the things that's important because of good sex. It just blinds the heck out of us. Let's be real. It will have us put up with a whole lot of garbage and overlook things because the sex was good. So be mindful for that. No, ladies, you don't have to rush it just because you're legally married, okay? So just wanted to say that for a side note. But Bo, woo! What is up with people today who, and it's been out there, you've been hearing about these celebrities, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, different people. I think they said Ryan Reynolds. I'm like, come on, Ryan, now I love you in your movies. What's going on? You too? Ew. This nastiness. Okay? This nastiness. I ever heard of a black female, will be nameless celebrity as well, said she don't feel a need to be washing every day. Wash y'all behinds. Wash your behinds. Wash your tail. Let me tell you something. all of this I want to preserve my skin crap, it's would your skin gonna fall off if you get in the shower? Let me tell you something. My skin's not bad, is it? Not bad for a 52-year-old. Yes, 52. I'm happy enough to say it. Now, my mother's 78, and she looks absolutely fabulous. Her skin looks better than mine. Has more melanin popping. She's a little darker than me. Gorgeous skin, and she's nearly 80 years old. She washes every day. Washes her face every day. Moisturize your skin to keep, it glowing, to keep, that moisture so it won't crack and brittle and get the fine lines and all that. Stays, sun and vitamin D is amazing. But make sure you take protected with that SPF and that sunscreen when you're out in the sun. But to sit up there and say, I don't want to wash once a week, twice a week, even if you work out, Bo, with all that nasty sweat, you want to come around your man and you saying this and you just met him. This is somebody you want to make an impression on that you've been crushing on for years. Now you want to tell him, I don't always feel the need to wash. I'm not saying there hasn't been a moment where, like she said, dead tired, long day, you came in late, you worked, busy, meetings, worked overtime. I have went from one job to the next, kicked off my shoes, thrown my clothes off, got in bed, took the shower in the morning. I get that. I'm by myself. Ain't nobody smelling me. It's just me. Would I have done that married? No, because my husband is still there with me. I don't, all day. No, I wouldn't have done that. But I have done that tired, 2 jobs, and beat. And I'm like, I'm too exhausted to even hit the shower. I'll hit it in the morning. I have done that. Regularly? No. Once in a blue moon. But I get if you have a moment like that. But don't tell me that you have had enough energy to work out, be sweaty, and can't jump in a 3-minute shower, hitting those vital parts, rinsing off, and dry, put some smell good on real quick, throw your jammies on, and be next to your husband smelling nice and fresh. That is inexcusable. Now, she dead tired, she fall asleep in her clothes on the couch. Okay, once in a blue moon, I get it. You tired. Don't sit up there and say there are moments. Now, she's been in dark places, because from what she said, some moments I wasn't feeling good. I may be in moments of bouts of depression where she has not felt like washing in days. That's a mental thing. She was really going through something, and I picked up on that when she said that. I wasn't in a good headspace. So when people go through depression and things like that, they don't. Washing is not what they thinking about. They dwelling on the problems, the whatever's causing them to be in that dark place. No, they don't want to do it. They don't want to clean the house. They don't want to wash. They don't want to get in the shower. No. Sometimes maybe we have skipped a day and not have gotten in the shower, especially if we living by ourselves and there's no one there with us. It may have had those moments. I have, being honestly speaking, but to sit up there and say I don't feel like on a regular, you don't want to get in the shower. Yeah, that is so rare that has happened to me. I feel so much better to have a daily shower, at least once a day. And to work out and not go in the shower sweaty after workout is disgusting. It's disgusting. You belt up all these oils now and dirt and stuff, especially as a woman, come out in certain places. That's not cool to be around your man. So, Val, take care of yourself. Okay, don't want to ski people out, stand on that subject forever, but please wash, Bo, because if that is a regular thing and you got a new man who you just coming together with, he ain't gonna be so understanding, because it don't take a whole lot to flick that switch and Johnny is out, only because he's married and he knows you and he really wants to make this work, and now his dad knows, so of course he don't want to mess up for his father. Traditionally that's gonna matter. He's not gonna run for the hills right away. But watch what you do, because a lot of times information you divulge, it's all about timing. You do not have to talk about everything all in the first day, first week. Even when you're dating, even outside this experiment, there's phases on what you divulge to people in a relationship, because you can OD on something and send somebody running quick when you say certain things too soon. Ease up to that at certain points further down the road. Now they're speeding things up because they're on an 8-week experiment, so they gotta ask certain questions quicker. I even think in this instant, on the first 2-3 days of a honeymoon, certain things didn't have to be spoken on. Keep it light, keep it fun, keep it, with your childhood. What do you do for your work? Those kind of things, and get into the heavy duty stuff when they move in. Because I'm not trying to scare nobody on my honeymoon. I'm just saying. Next, last but not least, Mr. Ryan and Miss Brett. Yeah. Wait, did I? No, not Ryan and Brett. Rachel and Johnny. Rachel and Johnny, of course, she brought up again this finance thing, which I'm getting tired of hearing of right now, but holding her own money, she let him know how she felt about that. To put all the money in one account, and then I guess he gives her what's left over. She's not feeling too keen on that. That's something they have to revisit. She told him how she felt. Okay, move on. You'll get into that another time. The bike incident. Old girl didn't know how to ride a bike. Now, when I saw her get on the bike, I'm like, you're not doing too bad. Maybe she didn't ride a bike in a long time, because they say once you know how to ride a bike, you'll always know how to ride a bike. I think she hasn't done it in a long time. Maybe she's rusty. She tried it. She gave up. I don't know. But right now she did pretty good. But I love the patience that Jose has with her, to watch her. The guy that he really, I believe, is a good man who wants to provide and care for his wife. He's a protector. He is a provider. He has I jumped for joy. My heart flooded when he said that 815 credit score. Yes, baby. So when you get older, certain things excite you. These young girls just don't know. That 815 could make a sister a little, I'm going to keep it PG. But you ladies know what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm saying. I'm like, 815, 815. But the way he caters to her, that was so sweet with the bike riding. I really appreciated that. Now, it hit a little anxiety point on the boat when she took that swig on the cheating question. See, Dad cheated on Mom, and that's not something that she really appreciated. The fact that Rachel cheated, that brought up something to him, and it may be a little fear in the back of his mind. Now he's making a mental note. Will she cheat on me? She cheated in the past. It was a mistake. She was honest about it. I hope that's nothing that resurfaces in the future, but it can mean, your level of value. Someone can judge that, like, how could you do that to somebody? That may need to take a little more future conversation as to why that happened, Rachel, because that really sparked something really bad. So we know that Jose is one about loyalty. And loyalty means something to him, being faithful. And I believe that matters to her too. She was young and did something stupid. A lot of times we do that. So hope he don't hold that over her head forever. But they've had endearing moments that I really appreciated. Now, and I don't know, my lighting seems to have went down, so I hope you guys can still see me. But so that's what happened. Now, what was next I wanted to say about them? She spoke at the dinner table about how she felt about sex. And let me tell you something. Jose, you was getting on my nerves a little bit when it came to all of that kissy stuff. All of the kissy at the table was a little too much. Like, okay, you love kissing on her. She like this, you all of her face. I'm like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I don't know what you're trying to prove, but I don't know. This lighting is really bothering me, you guys. I don't know. Is that, you can still see me? I don't know. It just seemed like it was getting a little off. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Hope it's okay. You guys can see me pretty good enough. But yeah, so I was like, why are you doing all of this kissing? Conversate for a minute. When they started getting into politics, he was swigging them drinks. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Type in the chat box if you saw in the comments, if you saw him when they was talking. It's like he got nervous. He like I had a nervous swig when they started talking into politics. I don't know how that threw him off, but I was like, okay, is that making you nervous? Is that nervous, or you don't want them to start asking you questions on your views? I don't know. That was a little weird to me, the way he did that. But yeah, chill with all that PDA. It was getting on my nerves. But yeah, she told how she felt on, even though her heart may be into something and she's gelling with the chemistry of someone, that doesn't mean she needs to cross that line, actual, get into physical. She said, I still take my brain with me. So I'm not making don't think because I'm, getting hot and heavy with you that my brain is still not with me in my heart. And I like that, Rachel. Good girl. That's right. So they got into that. And yeah, that's something, the issues that they have so far, him substantiating a life as wife, as I mentioned before, I don't see anything wrong with that. I just hope she can just fall back and realize, let someone take care of you. Hopefully Jose just, will let her speak her piece and grow and contribute to the household in a way that she feel is important for her, and they make it a team. They work as a team. He doesn't have to dominate and everything, but I really like how he catered to her and the level of conversation, discussions that they had, and just listen and do that give and take. I don't see anything too crazy with them right now, but we're going to see how the weeks progress, because everything will tell the tale when they move in next week. So I cannot wait for that. So that's all the comments I have this week. I think it was kind of good. A few weeks. I don't remember in the past it being like 3 weeks of talking about honeymoon stuff. I thought they'd move in by now. It seemed like they dragged in the honeymoon stay a little longer than usual. It seems like it's like a 1 week or no more than 2. But hey, I want them to get back home so we can get to the nitty gritty, because just like Bo said, it's nothing like when you're living with someone to see what comes out. So until next week, when we see our peeps come Wednesday again, have an amazing week, Queens on Purpose. Definitely stay safe out there. Live the life you deserve, because you are great. You are amazing. Let no one steal your joy or tell you no different. Click like, comment. I want to get your feedback on this week's episode, and definitely just subscribe, share with your ladies. If you watch Married at First Sight, or maybe just talking about relationship and marital issues in general, join me and let's get to talking about Married at First Sight. Until next week, peace.